or plastic pollution is the accumulation of plastic objects and particles in the earth environment that adversely affect wildlife habitat and humans. Plastic waste describe plastic objects which have not been recycled properly. Furthermore, our tremendous attraction to plastic coupled with undeniable behavioral propensity of increasingly and consuming, discarding, littering and thus polluting has become a combination of lethal nature.
For my point of view, the plastic pollution is well known around the world. As we know, plastic pollution quite have an effect for the marine life in the river and the sea. For the river, for the sea, marine life is their habitat. And for now, what we know that is the effect for the marine life is it will disturb the ecosystem in that area. For example, the area will be like, we'll have from the small fish we eat the big fish, and the big fish we will eat for the food, for our daily food. But the problem, if they have the plastic pollution at the river, at the sea, there will be a consequence that show the disturbing. For example, the problem with the big fish. If the big fish die, so a lot will have the small fish only. And for us, we usually eat the big fish. For example, that we all quite known when showing the YouTube video about how the turtle eating the plastic because they cannot see the difference between the jellyfish and the plastic.
It can harm ocean ecosystem, wildlife and human. It can injure coral reef and bottom dwelling species and entangle ocean wildlife.
The effect of large items of plastic debris can cause entanglement and reducing the sensation to feed. Once entangled, the creatures either drown, injured or impaired such that they are no longer able to effectively forage or escape predators.
It litters the ocean and threatens the lives of million marine animals, and it increases the chances of diseases which made the marine animals to suffer for years and eventually die.
Tap water, beer, and salts are used in all samples collected in the world ocean, including the Arctic, and are identified invisible plastics. Several chemical used in plastic material production to impair the body endocrine system, causing human and wildlife development, reproductive, nerve and immune disorder. As a result of prolonged exposure to seawater, toxic contaminants also collected on plastic material surface. When marine organisms absorb the plastic debris, they enter the digestive system and accumulate over time over the webs. The transfer of pollutant between marine and human species through seafood consumption is a health hazard.
Because of the effect that it shows the disturbance for the ecosystem, it will cause the unbalance in the ecosystem for the habitat for the marine life. The marine life will have a struggle because they need to adapt to the plastic pollution.
Poorly managed and poorly resourced than fire site.
Microplastics, which comes from degraded pieces of larger plastics, and people who use beaches as recreational activities.
The effect of large items of plastic debris can cause entanglement and reducing the sensation to feed. Once entangled, the creatures either drown, injured or impaired such that they are no longer able to effectively forage or escape predators.
counterexample to handle plastic waste dumping is the concept of the ocean cleanups. This technology company was founded in 2013 by 18-year-old Dutch students. The aim of this project is to collect recycle millions of tons of plastic waste, such as that present in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch from the ocean. The technology, based on the multiple platforms connected to tubular content floating on the surface of the ocean, is currently being tested. The collection of technology makes use of the natural ocean currents. It would take 5 years to clean up to 50% of a large ocean grief.
One of the ways that is shown for the cleanup ocean is they built the interceptor. The interceptor is one of the machines that they put at the Klang River. The interceptor, they have do the research and it is quite good for the environment around there. So when they put the machine there, they take precaution and it is not disturbing for their habitat. So it is, we also need to consider when we need to put at the technology at that area, we need to consider, is it effect to their life or is it good for our life?
As individuals, we can overcome plastic waste by disposing plastic properly in order to reduce plastic waste into the environment.
Cooperation among the wide range and stakeholders.
First thing, reduce the use of single-use plastics. Support the government bans on single-use plastics. Skip straws. Give up plastic bags. And most importantly, don't litter.
To survive and prosper, we need healthy oceans. The ocean is the largest ecosystem. The ocean provides at least a sixth of the animal protein to eat.
The ocean is a great source of food. Some marine, like fishes and other, is often used as a resource of many countries to feed their people and grow their economy.
One of the ways that is shown for the cleanup ocean is they built the interceptor. The interceptor is one of the machines that they put at the Klang River. The interceptor, they have do the research and it is quite good for the environment around there. So when they put the machine there, they take precaution and it is not disturbing for their habitat. So it is, we also need to consider when we need to put at the technology at that area, we need to consider, is it effect to their life or is it good for our life? For now, who will need to be involved in this kind of awareness? For me, I want to say that we need to have some initiative. Ourselves should have initiative to help them. We need to make a move before the others to make a move. So that we ourselves, before we tell to others, we did already for this kind of environment, save their environment. So when we tell them, they also have the initiative to make the move.
The government must involve in order to increase the public awareness on plastic dumping by introduce importance of plastic waste education. For example, the current environmental education for plastic waste management was adopted by Japan, Taiwan, the UK and the Hong Kong are still not perfect, although it's still much room for improvement. In order to change all the knowledge, attitudes and behavior regarding the plastic waste dumping is depend on the effectiveness of the educational strategies.
Plastic makers are working with NGOs and other private sector could help to develop a new system or new kind of plastic that environmentally friendly.
Government needs to be recognized as such an appropriate enforcement measure. Littering is an offense punishable by a fine.
Government should do strategies such as reduce the plastic bag production so that public won't have to buy plastic bags to use. Public, such as us, should do multiple campaigns to raise awareness, and parents should teach their children to reduce the usage of plastic bags and don't litter the ocean.